Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian.
Jared Brandon, who is Jared Brandon?
You couldn't even do the thing that
I know I can't do
asked
it.
me not to do.
I can't just say Jared Brandon and not anything else. It's been too, it's just...
Man About Town.
That was awesome.
Man about town. Yeah, that's exactly what Jared is.
Good to see everybody.
Yeah, a man about, town.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
All right. Hey, everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We are thrilled to death that you are listening to our show. We love doing this podcast. Dog burn it. That's a mashup between Dad Burn It and Doggone It.
I like it.
That's
Yeah,
heavy.
I like it.
Patent that thing.
We're fortunate enough to be graced with Jared's presence.
Jared is in the house.
Jared is here.
At the table. He's back for Thanksgivings.
Yep.
And
What's on the menu
So by the
this
time you
year?
hear this, will be past Thanksgivings.
Deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs.
All the eggs. All of them.
Wow.
And what's better yet, ladies and gentlemen, you hear us talk about them every episode at the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
All the way from the penthouse suite
Yes.
and the orange jacuzzis. Mm-hmm. They're not painted orange. It's orange water for effect.
Yes.
Or orange LEDs. I don't know.
Orange
The water might be
LEDs.
orange.
Well,
Anyways,
we haven't
Steve
changed it
Keys
in a
is
while.
on the line.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yes.
Are you wearing your fez?
I am looking at it on my amp right now.
Yeah. It's difficult. It's tricky to wear with headphones.
Well,
We did that for about 30 seconds. And we're like, yeah.
it's not going to work.
I'll remember to tape it to it next time.
Yeah.
When you listen to this, please make sure you wear your fez.
That's right.
It
Will
does
do.
make it better. So we're going to have a great time because for those of you who don't know what about, when we say, hey, it's Grand Poohbah, maybe this is your first episode. Maybe it's your second or 15th and you've turned it off when Tony comes on. And you don't know what this is. You don't know what this is. We are supported by our Patreon supporters,
Yeah.
who we dearly appreciate. And actually, the top level that we have dubbed them Grand Poohbahs.
That's right.
And they're deserving of that. And aside from the penthouse suite that they get to visit whenever they like, and all of the amenities and the free orange Gatorade and the fezzes, we want to have them on an episode. We want to talk to them because not only are they supporting us, they're largely very heavily invested in the actual guitar community. They are supporting the builders that we have on the show. They are supporting other people who are contributing to the guitar community, whether that is in views of demos or who knows what other kind of support. But they're doggone it, they're doing it, and we appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
Right, Steve?
That's right.
Good. All right. You just made your first
Yes.
$2.
Yay.
So we're going to find out all about what makes Steve Keys tick and, regular guy on the street, what's up in your guitar world kind of thing. I don't know why that needed to sound like Paul Stanley probably sounds like that in a real person.
It probably
Yeah,
does.
he
A
might.
little bit like that.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a great time. I just have one announcement right now. Timeout, says Tony. He's giving me...
Did we have Steve introduce himself?
Oh, I just kind of ran wild with that, didn't I?
I don't think we had Steve introduce himself.
Yeah, he did.
How rude of me
went,
to
I did it, but it was kind of like in the middle of you guys shouting.
Hey!
Okay.
All right. Who's on the line right now?
Take two.
Yeah.
This is Grand Poohbah Steve Keys.
Hey! Steve Keys!
Hey!
Oh, what a surprise.
Whoa.
Well, there you go, everybody. You've been formally introduced, and now you're best friends. All right. Got a quick announcement I want to share. All right. So this is another fantastic message that we got, and this is from Jonathan. He says, the first time I saw a Rickenbacker in action, I tell you what, we've gotten so many comments and
That was a great episode.
I was like, wow. We suspected that. We're like, what do we know the least about of all the brands and everything?
Well,
Bang,
some of us.
Rickenbacker.
If Rickenbacker is Rickenbacker, Then what about Orville Redenbacher? Is it Redenbacher?
No.
I think Orville goes by Bacher,
Yeah.
but I think he's a CH, not a CK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was really important to bring up.
It might be.
It is.
I'll cut that out.
Where's the popcorn?
Anyways, so he says, "Hey guys, I discovered your podcast when you had Dan Petchacek on the show. He's from Old Blood Noise Endeavors.
Oh, yeah.
That was a
And I'm
minute
probably
ago.
sure I butchered his name again.
It was a minute ago.
That was a minute ago. That was a great episode, too.
It was.
He's a fantastic guest.
Yeah.
Please go listen to that episode if you haven't already. I totally love the show. It's nice to hear you guys so enthusiastic and positive about bespoke guitars and pedals. Well, you know we are. Loved the Rickenbacker show. I have always had a bit of a crush on them. I think kind of most people have, and it's weird because it's kind of at arm's length, and we discussed that. A lot of people like them,
Yeah.
but not as many have them.
Right.
Long story, but I grew up without a television until I was 15 or 16 years old. But he's living in Australia, so
Oh.
that's when, yeah, they didn't. Maybe that's when they got to Australia. I don't know.
They have dingoes
He says
there.
I'm 48 now. The dingo ate you, Telly. I'm 48 now, so I did not see a lot of shows other people did, but instead I filled my life with music.
Cool.
Once I had moved out and had my own TV, there was a show on in Australia, where I grew up, on a Saturday morning that I watched religiously called Recovery that had lots of live bands on it.
Oh, that's
This was
cool.
the mid-'90s, so lots of alternative stuff. I was heavily into grunge and industrial metal at the time. I'm a bit more chill these days. But anyways, I remember on Saturday morning seeing Mark of Cain, who were quite loud and aggressive. And they had these strange guitars that I later learned were Rickenbackers. I loved the sound these guys managed to get very hard and heavy. Anyhow, all this to say, Ricks can rock with the best of them. Love the show and get excited every time a new episode drops. Also love hearing the Four on the Floors and the Would You Rathers. Well, thank you, Jono. Well, we do too. We're glad that you are liking them as much as we do. P.S. I'm not into this band these days. Just wants to clarify.
Okay, clear the air.
Yeah, they are way too angry, LOL, but brought up some fond memories from my youth. He says, P.P.S. Todd's voice reminds me of Skipper from the Penguins of Madagascar.
He looks like Skipper from the Penguins of Madagascar.
That is such a great show. Skipper! Anyways, once again, thanks for the reply. All right.
That's cool.
Yeah. So thanks, Jono, for sending that. That was... I went and watched. He sent a clip, and I watched the clip,
Oh,
and they
cool.
were all playing Rickenbackers. Like, so it
Really?
was like a full band, which was kind of. It was like the Beatles meets Helmet. But so
Interesting.
put that and wrap your head around that one.
I'm trying to.
Yeah,
It's not rapping.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, so there's that, and we're grateful for all the comments and cool things that people send us. It's fun. Happy fun times.
Excellent.
All right, let's find out what's going on in music worlds this week. We're gonna check in with let's see, Tone Sickle,
Tone Sickle.
I like and
that.
that was a pick up from one of the last episodes. You know,
Was Tone Sickle on the last one?
it was with Vader in, I believe.
Okay.
So
I kind of like that one.
yeah, it's good. We're gonna find out what's going on in his music world this week. Then we're gonna check in with our pal Steve Keys, who wait, Steve, are you there?
I'm still here.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, wait a minute.
Who's this guy?
Did Steve introduce himself?
Go ahead and introduce yourself, Steve.
What the hell have you guys
forgot
been
who this
doing
is.
since I've been gone?
No, but you guys just keep going.
Okay, we'll keep going. Steve Keys, everybody. Then we're going to check in with Jared.
Jared.
Okay, Tony, take it.
Well, you know Todd.
Yes, I do very well.
He's an interesting cat.
sounds
Reminds
good.
me of a penguin. Anyhow,
You got a book.
I got a book.
Yeah,
I got a new book from
very exciting.
Lisa S. Johnson called Immortal Axes Guitars That Rock.
Yes, that's a big book.
It's
man.
a big book. Now, you
a
might
big, heavy
remember
book.
gosh, maybe a year, maybe longer ago, I was talking about one of Lisa's other books called 108 Rockstar Guitars. And the one thing that is really, I mean, the photography in these books are second to none. I mean, and it's not your typical, let's put this guitar up on the wall, shoot the body, shoot the neck, shoot the headstock. I mean, she finds a way to make, just to pick out the details.
Well, that's kind of what the whole genesis of the projects are that she does.
Exactly.
Show me the hidden details, the stories within the guitar.
Yeah.
This is 388 pages.
And it's a beautiful book. It's what, about a 12 by 12 book, maybe
About
bigger?
12 pounds.
And about 12 pounds.
You could beat somebody with it.
So, very cool book. Coincidentally, we're going to have.
Vinny.
Is that Vinny?
Vinny's
Yeah,
on the
maybe.
side. What the? Anyway,
How about
sorry.
that?
Go ahead.
So, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have Lisa on our podcast to talk a little bit about this new book, as well as probably 108 Rockstar
in
Guitars.
2022.
In 2022, next
Which is
year.
not far off. Guys, it's only a couple weeks away.
It's
It
hard to
is.
believe.
crazy.
I can't wrap my head around this stuff. But anyhow, cool book. It's a little bit pricey, but not out of the reach. And I can honestly say that the one good thing that came out of the whole pandemic thing is there seemed to be, especially this year, a ton of books that have been released.
This one's wicked cool.
After what I would say is kind of a drought of books, and I love guitar books, and so this was just perfect. But I'd say it's definitely worth. It's a perfect coffee table book if you love guitars. Like I said, the photography is fantastic. There's stories about each guitar that's in there. My only critique is some of the choices on the guitars wouldn't be my choices based on the player that is featured. And I think we'll ask Lisa about that when she's on. But maybe it was just a simple matter of some things not being available.
It could also be, I think this is one of the tricky things with, quote unquote coffee table books, which are largely pictorial and just for people to drool over, is that if you're going to see the same guitar every time in every book, then who cares?
Right.
So it could be that, like, I don't know the story behind it, but I suspect that a lot of these might have some story like that was given to him by somebody. It was a first guitar,
and that's
all that kind of stuff.
I'm going to dig in a little bit deeper. Maybe I can answer my own
Did you
question.
have a favorite guitar so far in there?
I would say the one that struck me as odd was Malcolm Young's White Falcon.
Oh.
And I've only seen him play, he usually had the Jet Firebird that was all stripped down, missing pickups and that thing. But after looking in here and looking online, I did see a couple of photos of him playing a big old double cut.
That must have been as big as he was.
It might have been a little bit larger.
He's a little guy.
Yeah, well,
He's just a little guy.
he's a real boy. But anyhow, if you have a chance, pick up a copy of the book. I think you'll enjoy it. I'm waiting for a coffee table book about guitars that you can fold out into a guitar.
Or a coffee table.
Or a coffee. That's already been done.
A guitar-shaped coffee table.
Oh,
Been done.
I think you're onto
That's the
something.
thing. Yeah. All right. Steve, what's up in your music world, man?
Well, I just got done putting my pedal board back together after numerous times of taking it back apart.
What prompts something like that? What prompts that endeavor?
Just I have an eclectic taste of music, so it'll depend on what I'm feeling that day. Depends on. I like overdrive pedals, so they come and go.
Is that what is, I guess, maybe most plentiful in your pedal collection?
I would say so. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But I was able to get that in, and I also placed an order for a new amp.
What is it, pray tell?
Well, it is the Supro Delta King 12.
Oh, yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, I haven't had a Supro amp. I haven't played one yet, but I'm looking forward to it. And not to get too far down the rabbit hole here, but I had a Boss GT1000 at a time. Ended up selling that for this amp. Too much programming, too many rabbit holes to fall down into. So,
Okay.
Well, Delta King is straight ahead.
yes, and that's kind of where I was going for the simplicity of it, and
That's got a headphone jack too.
it does.
is
It
very
has
cool.
a headphone. Yeah, and I'm mostly playing at church, so I'm looking forward to trying that out there.
Very nice. In a previous episode, I guess it might have been around summertime, I actually got to gift shop for a coworker.
yeah, that's
and
right.
That's what
We
we
did
got
try
her-
that one out,
got
didn't
him.
we?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it sounded great.
Well, awesome. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to hearing it and seeing how well it performs on stage. And just going back to the pedal thing, it changes so much. I try to rely mostly on the amp, and since I live in a townhome, I can't really turn it up too loud. So I'm hoping this will kind of give me that balance between that saturated tone and volume levels at bedtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and with the headphones, you don't have to worry about waking up the neighbors.
This is true.
Excellent. Yeah, it has a nice broken up sound, and it doesn't take forever to get there because it's a little bit of a smaller watt amp, so it's got a really good sort of native overdriven sound.
And between the preamp, or not preamp, forgive me if I get the terms wrong, but it's got the master volume too, so I could turn on the input volume, turn that up, and then turn the master volume down, and that'll give me that.
Exactly. And those are a steal for the price.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right on, man. Well, good for you. Jared, how about yourself?
So about a week ago, I was in Tennessee, and
You live there now.
yeah, I was in Tennessee. Well, yeah, so I was there, and I've got a Klon Centaur, and
Hang on a second.
I left the what?
Wait, was that a random piece or was that?
No, I'm going to talk about.
Oh,
it.
okay, I got it. Sorry.
So yeah, I know. So I went to go plug in my guitar, that I'm going to tell you about in a second here, and I noticed I left the plugs in. Dead battery.
No battery.
So I hopped on my bicycle and I went down to the carryout, and I found these two batteries that are in this tiny little, icky carryout. And I didn't even look at the expiration date. I just bought the batteries, and they were yellow mystery batteries. And I thought, heck, these will be fine.
No.
I get them home, and the expiration date is like 2018.
Those are probably not working.
And they're probably 10 years old. So I'm like, they're fine. So I plug one in, and I plug everything in, and it's like going, and I'm like, no, I don't want to destroy this pedal. It's a $4,000 pedal. So I test the other one with my tongue. Oh, that's pretty strong. I'll test this one.
Yeah.
And it was like, and I was like, ah! So I unplugged it. None of those two batteries did not work.
You're supposed to rub it on the sole of your foot and then test your tongue.
No, you're not. So I do not want to taste foot cheese. I'm good. So I just went to the store and got a nice, trusty, quality Duracell, and it works perfect. I'm even afraid to plug it in. I've got one of those one spot. What are they called? That we have.
One spot.
Yeah, the one spot.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid to plug it in.
Does it have a jack on it? Or
It does. It does. It's got a. I got a thing. I got a jack.
so why
there,
wouldn't you just plug it in?
Because I'm
into the
afraid
one
to.
spot?
I don't know. I'm afraid. Because it's absolutely sensitive to batteries. Right.
But not sensitive to a standard unwavering.
You've got a pedal that's worth $4,000. Are you gonna? Would you rather? Would you rather just stick with the one battery that's solid?
I'd
and
plug
will
it.
not
I'd
destroy,
plug it into
or
the power
do
supply.
you risk it?
Yeah.
And if it's a good
supply.
power supply, which
It's only 9 volts.
The one spots are perfectly good.
Okay, I'll try it.
Try it.
All right. And anyway, and before I went to work for Gibson, the fellow that was convincing me to come to work for Gibson, he promised he could get me a guitar at artist price. So I ordered a guitar. A little while later, I ordered this.
I believe that's called dangling the carrot.
Yeah.
It worked. And, and so I went ahead and did that.
He was going to add, and I'll give you 401k after
Sure.
that, but you took that right out the gate and ran with it. So
a made-to-measure SG custom, and I provided an ebony block. So it's
what's an ebony block?
It
Jared?
is the designed tailpiece that they put over the end of the Maestro. The original Maestro that they replaced the Sideways with, they didn't have that long Maestro tail, that big metal tail that went to the bottom of the guitar yet. They just had a short little vibrola, and it just looked ugly with the 3 screws and the jagged. So Gibson made these really nice fancy block wood with pearl inlay
ebony,
on each
isn't
side. It's an ebony piece of design block. It's a fancy thing they put on the standards and the customs. And I think they learned, like, these are really expensive to make and they're a pain in the butt. Let's just get a metal piece that goes all the way down. That's where the long,
Gotcha.
the Leary vibrato came in. So the ebony block are very, very rare. You can find them on the internet and look at them, but they're a very rare instrument. So I've got an original 62 that's an ebony block. I bought and Tony's got a picture of it in the book he was talking about. Mm-hmm. And they're really beautiful. The Maestro's missing.
It is definitely missing.
But but it's still cool. It's got the ebony block. But so I provided the custom shop there my own ebony block, and they used it, my own original 62 gold spring. And I believe the metal on the original springs is better than what you get now.
That wouldn't surprise me.
That is.
So technically, is it a?
Well,
is
you
it-
haven't said what kind of guitar this is.
Yeah, you
It's a Les Paul SG.
that's what I was going to say. It's a Les Paul
SG custom, whatever you want to call it.
SG shaped Les Paul.
It is.
3 pickups,
3 pickups.
Gold
I
hardware?
really, really like the way they configured that too.
gold hardware.
Gold hardware, aged gold,
What color?
aged gold. So it's
Aged gold paint.
hardware, aged gold.
Yeah,
carbon.
no. Yeah, we got that.
The Alpine white, so they aged the crap out of it. It's heavy aged.
Looks
it
like it's
really
been sitting
old.
in the sun forever.
Forever. It's glorious.
It's pretty neato. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like a single guitar used by a blues or a rock and roll guitar man for like 60 years.
I mean, my boss's boss actually, he ordered it and he's like, listen, I got to go look at this thing before I give it to you, so I make sure it's right. And he texted me, it looks glorious, and that just my heart started pounding.
Yeah.
You know, like I got it, and then a week later I got it.
Well, and is that the famed Tom Murphy treatment?
It is, yeah. It's a Tom Murphy. He did a really great job on this one.
Nice.
That's for sure.
pretty
it's-
outstanding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it looks the part.
It's got like a little book of authenticity.
I mean, I mean, if you go there as an employee, you go in the shop. He's just like, I saw him going to lunch one day. He just sits in the lunchroom with everybody else. Mm-hmm. He's just a nice, everyday guy that just has a ton of knowledge up in his noggin. Does a really great job.
Does he eat aged cheese sandwiches?
Only
I don't know what to ask.
only aged cheese.
You're making me want to go there for lunch.
Yeah.
now. But no, seriously, I'm privileged. I got that guitar. So
No, it's a cool
I'm
guitar.
Really happy with it.
You should be very happy. It's a little heavy for my taste in terms of the relicking, but
I like it. I
But
love
it
it.
looks like
But it
looks the
doesn't.
part.
It doesn't look like a guitar that's like, oh, you aged it and like
Yeah.
you didn't age it in all the wrong places or anything.
no, it's definitely aged in the right spots and the finish checking. It's really cool.
The logic behind the heavy aging idea was because the gold or the original gold spring was so rusty and aged. I'm like, well, I can't make it lightly aged, and it just has a nasty gold rusty spring on it. And
Yeah.
it was built around the original parts that I gave them.
No, that's cool.
So that's my thing for the week.
Yeah.
Nice.
What about you, Todd?
Well, I get to help out the owner of the company that I work for, checking out a new amp. He's getting back into a band, and he wasn't really happy with his amp, and so based on his kind of music, I was like kind of sitting there going, the Supro Black Magic would actually be the perfect amp for his style. He's like, I just want something really simple. I just want to be able to plug in and it works and it sounds great and I can take it with me and it sounds, I want something that sounds kind of a little bit warm, still has a little bit of edge to it. And I was like, I'm going to bring you in my Supro and let you check it out. And he played and then the band was like, holy crap, that sounds amazing. You got to get this thing. So
Oh yeah.
he's gonna be getting, and he's playing. He bought one of Chase's guitars.
Oh, that's really
He
cool.
bought the
nice.
the greenish, the sea green,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
deep blue green kind of
Me
thing.
likey that
is
color.
a gorgeous guitar.
Yeah.
And he's got P90s going through that. So,
Beautiful.
yeah. Anyhow, so that was really fun. I love doing that, and it was fun to see that he came back and was just like, holy mackerel.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
found my sound. That's cool.
That's a good thing.
Yes, indeed, sure is. Surely is. Tony?
Steve Keys,
Hey,
let me ask you a question.
sure.
You just said that you put your pedal board back together.
I did.
Did you use any kind of, how shall we say, cabling between the pedals that you have on your board?
Well, if you refer to patch cables, then yes.
I'm gonna recommend. Now, this is just straight. I know that you just spent some time rearranging it, but it would be well worth your while to go to Tour Gear Designs and check out their patch cables.
They're the best.
They literally will buy you another pedal or two space on your board.
Crepe.
I know this from personal experience because I just got a couple of pedal boards that we talked about last week, and I'm arranging things and trying to find the best way to put things where. And I've got a bunch of Tour Gear designs, and I'm actually going to be putting another order for Tour Gear design cables because I want to move things around a little
You
bit.
got a lot of pedals.
And I
Need a little bucket of them to be able to like plug in.
yeah.
the
Oh,
bucket.
yeah. This one works perfectly. So they come in a variety of lengths,
S shape.
and they come in a couple of different shapes, including the patented X shape that we just
No, they don't.
that's patented.
There's no X shape.
There's an
It
X
might be
shape.
patented, but they don't make
What
it.
is this X shape you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you'll
don't
see.
think I
You'll
know.
see.
No.
And they're very flat.
Yep.
Jared,
They
what are
fit
like a
they?
everywhere.
linguine.
They have the little tiny crepe and
literally
these
like a
little
linguine.
teeny tiny little.
It looks like a linguine.
Yeah.
And you can put them on the little mini pedals.
Yeah.
And it won't block anything else.
No.
It's just everything fits.
So,
Little weenie.
and I almost forgot to say they're affordable too. So you can buy a
Extremely.
whole boatload of them
Yes,
and not break
you
the bank.
can.
We'll
Here
give you
comes
a
Todd. I'm going to
discount.
steamroll Tony here. You can go to tourgear.com/discount/the guitar knobs, or heck, just go to Tour Gear, get these dang patch cables in your basket, and then in the coupon code put the guitar knobs, all one word,
You'll save
and
money.
you're gonna save a nice little chunk of change there.
right.
Excellent.
Thank you so much to Tour Gear Designs for sponsoring our 4 on the floor.
Let me get a little bit of this.
Welcome back, Jared.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 4 on the floor.
Steve Keys, Grand Poohbah. Give us your
Hey.
4 on the floor.
All right. Well, like everyone says, this was a very toughie for me. I'm going to start off with the Boss TU-3S tuner. Just put it on my board recently and love the fact that it's small, even though it doesn't have the foot switch, which I kind of had to get used to.
Oh yeah, this is the one that's just the line. It's just line in. Easy for me to say.
You sound like me over there.
I think he said
It's
it
always
best
on.
when he
It's
said
always on.
no switch.
It's always
Well, it's just it's tiny. It's like half the size because it doesn't have the foot
It's like a
switch. on it.
pocket watch on there.
Yeah, it's like a
That-
pocket watch.
Yeah.
right. And it took a little bit to get used to because I do like silent tuning. So I had to plug in my volume pedal.
Oh, yeah.
And remember to turn it down. So, which reminds me, I need to clean that pot because it's kind of scratchy. Yes. So that's number one. Number two is the Radial Twin City ABI or ABY, excuse me. Due to having just messing with different amps, I like the ability to, or the option to switch amps, and have that to use as a channel switcher if need be. So
Yeah, that's a
have
cool
that.
pedal. Do you have the radial?
It's a good, yeah. I have the ABY, but I run it at the end of the chain so that it goes.
So
out
you can
to,
split it out to different amps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
So
Are
you do
using-
yours before the effects?
no, I do. I split them up.
Okay, so you're running that at the end.
Yes, so it's a wet dry kind of
Yes.
deal. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, gotcha.
Number three is the Lawrence Petros Design pedals, LPD pedals, 87 Deluxe.
Oh, yeah,
this
okay.
is- Yeah, he's been an up and comer for a while. I think he's finally getting his name out there. Was so much more into Marshall in the box type overdrives, and this one is his two pedals in one modified Marshall. So you get. I'm not sure what the red channel is modified for. I have to go to his website to find out, but. It just pushes you over the edge just slightly, and then I have the red channel to give the nice screaming leads that I need whenever I need them. I don't do them too often. Like you, Todd, I'm more of a rhythm player.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the red is for the red Tolex. So
There you go.
I got a big eye roll from Tony there. Yeah, I switch over to the red Tolex, Marshall. That's cool.
Nice.
you got the green Tolex and the red Tolex.
Yeah.
It's Christmas.
I love it.
Very cool. Very cool.
Number 4, the Eventide H9. I know this has been on a
there
few
you go.
times,
Yeah.
but it's such a great pedal, and it's honorable mentions would be the which actually from listening to you guys, I have the Native Audio Wilderness Delay
Mikey.
to cover just a little bit extra delay from what the H9 can't give me, and also the
Mike
Champion.
Trombley bringing it in. Bringing it hot.
Oh, he's got such awesome talent, that guy.
He
I
really
love that
does.
pedal.
Yeah. No, without a doubt. All of his pedals are. I mean, they're a little bit more on the complicated side, but they do sound.
He
wonderful.
packs a lot into a very small
Absolutely.
space.
Absolutely.
We miss Mikey.
Yeah.
He does, yeah. And I even went as far as putting a Boss switcher on there to use the expression pedal.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
So again, my tap delay.
that's cool.
yeah. He's amazing.
Well, that's a pretty solid 4 on the floor there, Buster. Thank you for sharing that. Ladies and gentlemen, we are learning more about our friend Steve Keys, supporter, Grand Poohbah, guitar guy. What else are you in your life? Your dad?
Aircraft mechanic.
You're an aircraft mechanic. What kind of aircraft? Blimps?
Mostly small planes.
Not blimps.
Not blimp. No, not blimps.
Balloons.
That's the biggest.
No,
bike
not
pump
hot
in
air
the
balloons
world.
either. Just small GA.
Private jets and stuff.
Private planes.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Well, who would have known we'd be talking to an aircraft mechanic? Did you get that talent from, or were you in the military at some point in time?
Almost. I was just about to go into the Navy, and then I met my wife.
Oh, gotcha. She was an admiral. She got you out of it. Is that- Anyways.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
don't know. Very cool. So that's okay. Let's figure that. So were you just deciding like, you know what, I want to be an aircraft mechanic? How'd you do that?
Started off as working in motorcycles, and I was all prepped to go to motorcycle mechanic school. And my dad was just driving down Clearwater in Florida, and he saw National Aviation Academy. I was like, and he told me to go check them out.
Wow.
And so, yeah.
That's cool. So you like getting in there and fixing things and tinkering, and you're good with your hands and you understand how things work.
I do.
Wow, that's very cool.
Do you prefer 2-blade propellers or 3-blade propellers?
Ooh. Or 4.
Oh, the more the merrier, the quiet they are, the more quieter they are.
Yeah, I did not know that. Huh, who knew?
Yeah.
I didn't. Now we do. Thanks for enlightening us, man. Okay, so does that extend over into any of the things that you're involved in your own personal guitar world?
It does. Actually, kind of go back before then. I was long story short, I first got interested in skateboarding before I got into music.
Rad.
And
You prefer 2 wheels or 4? 4. Anyway,
Tubular.
so dumb. It was right,
Always
it was
red.
right there. I have,
but it kind of went into parallel with my mom grew up playing guitar and just pretty much grew up the childhood listening to the Beatles and Woodstock, any kind of music that she was into, I was listening to. And she grew up playing acoustic, and I kind of tailed along with her on that.
So when did you start playing guitar?
I'd say around maybe.
you can just do age. You don't have to give away your actual age if you don't want to.
10 or 12.
Nice. That's a great age to start.
Yeah.
Same with me.
Well, I'm hoping my son will get there. He's 9 right now, and he's still got a couple years.
Yeah. It's hard. I've gone through the whole like, oh, I wish my kids would play guitar. I wish my kids would play guitar. And they all chose all the different instruments. And I'm like, guys, you could play circles around me on your actual instruments. Just play a couple cowboy chords with me,
I'm telling
please.
you, one of them will pick it up.
You think so?
Yeah.
They all have played stringed instruments, violins, violas, stand-up basses.
Well, so
and
did
everything.
I.
Yeah.
I played a trombone and the violin.
Yeah.
Just stuck with
Oh,
guitar.
nice.
At the same time?
Yes.
Could have, yeah.
Multi-talented.
Yeah, I'd pay to see that.
Well, you know.
Yeah. Just tie the bow onto the end of the trombone.
Well, no, you get a pulley for your foot, like a wah pedal, and that
Yeah.
controls the slide on the trombone, and you can play the violin while you blow on
Actually,
the
if
trombone.
you got a wah, you don't need the trombone slide because that's what it was meant to mimic.
That is true.
Hey, little history lesson from Tony.
Wow.
Anyways,
Thus-
back to Steve.
Clyde McCoy.
Yeah,
Look it up.
Back to Steve here. Okay, so you're into your acoustic guitar, and then at some point you're like, I like when things get plugged in. Walk us through that.
So I was actually in band too, and I played trombone. So go there, Jared.
My man. All right.
And that's kind of when I got interested into bass guitar and started plugging in with that.
That's a smart move because there are always 300 guitar players to one bass player.
Yep.
Smart move.
And I had 2 less strings to learn too, so
Yeah.
I was already in that genre.
There you go.
I don't remember what my first bass was. It was kind of an off-brand, all-natural poplar. Who knows what the name was? Something my parents got me for Christmas. Pushed on with that until I got interested into electric guitar. Bought a Squier Affinity from a friend of mine for $100 and a distortion pedal. I can't remember the life of me what the model of it was, but around that time I was getting into punk rock, so it was.
It made that noise.
Metal
Yeah.
It
Zone.
made that noise.
What was the? Do you recall the first kind of band that maybe tickled your toenails there with the electric?
Oh, it was Authority Zero.
Oh wow,
yeah.
that's a deep cut there.
Yeah, I just fell in love with their music, and that's what really kind of pushed me into getting more into learning guitar, electric guitar and effects and whatnot.
Authority Zero, bang, you get a Squier, and then what happens?
Well, just kind of grew up a little bit, tried to learn as much as I could, and continued skating until I had my first accident that was breaking my wrist and going on hiatus from everything for a while. And pretty much after the third break I was married. All 3 breaks I
Third
was married.
break. What?
Yeah.
You were bad at skateboarding.
Or I was really good.
He was pushing the envelope, man.
And my wife said, "Nay, that is enough.
Yeah.
I don't want
Evil
to-"
Knievel was a great daredevil, but he was a terrible this motorcycle rider.
But he broke 90% of bones in his
Like I
body.
said,
Yeah.
that's what
I had to hang up my board, and I needed another artistic outlet, so to speak. So that's when I got really hot and heavy into guitars and guitar gear, and ultimately talking about guitar stuff with a friend because I can't talk to my wife about it because she doesn't want to hear it.
Little PSA for you.
Mine's the same way. My wife doesn't want to hear about it.
There's a big jump between there and, dare I say, becoming a Grand Poohbah, supporting the community in a variety of different ways, exploring new sounds, getting new amps and everything. I think it develops in different ways for everyone, but I'd love to hear it, how that worked out for you.
So it started when I couldn't actually have a friend to talk to about it or anybody to talk to about it. We ended up moving up to Oregon, and I didn't have anybody to talk to or relate with musically or gear wise. And so that's when I came across you guys' show. I've looking at a lot of YouTube videos like Phil McKnight or JHS or so on and so forth. And I honestly cannot remember who or how I found you guys' show, but
Are you sure it wasn't when you burnt your toast and our logo was on the toast and you're like, oh,
it's a sign. No, I think I was just looking at new avenues to take instead of watching videos.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Spotify, and there's a guitar knobs popped right up, and I was like, huh,
Nice.
that looks interesting. Yeah.
Thanks, Spotify.
yeah, for sure. I think this is what you're bringing up is really interesting because, to your point, like we're not taking digs at your wife or anything like that, but I think a lot of people, whether maybe they don't have anybody around. Isolation is a tough thing that people deal with these days. The world has gotten very, 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 very small, and it's actually, I guess it would be very big. It's not very small. It's very big. That's what I mean. Anyway,
By small, you meant big.
By small, I meant big. In so much as that we have everything. Everybody's connected, and that also puts us in our own very small world of our own. That's what I was trying to get to, and. There's lots of things that come up all the time where people are talking about, just even in the guitar community, even people are being very vocal about, mental health and sort of coping with things and not really knowing who to talk to and just expressing themselves in different ways. And when you have something, especially that you care a lot about and are passionate about, and you want to feel more of that and connect with others in different ways, it can be very difficult because whether we like it or not, some elements of the guitar community can be a little elitist sometimes. In other areas, it's extremely accepting. I think for the most part, it's very accepting. But anybody who's walked into a guitar store and someone says, "You want to try the guitar?" and you say, "No," everybody I think has gone through that at one point in time. I have.
It's intimidating at times.
It can be, yeah.
God forbid you have to plug into an amplifier.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yes. Turn the heads and, hear the snickers. That's what happened to me. So, anyways,
Satisfies me.
I think you just touched on something that I just wanted to pull out a little bit there because not everybody has a bunch of pals to sit around with and talk about guitars that care. And when you are trying to talk to somebody about something you really care about and you can tell they don't, that can be very discouraging too.
Yeah.
So, little PSA
So that
for everybody.
that led you to the guitar knobs.
Yes.
Your newest,
It did.
bestest buddies.
Well, I expect the Christmas cards to show up in the mail.
It's on. We haven't
Yeah.
sent them out yet. But
Yeah.
they'll be there. I think. That's Todd's department.
Yeah. So, anyways, I interrupted you. Please continue.
Oh, no, you're fine. But no, you brought up a really good point that the isolation part, it definitely brings on a depression and just all those negative feelings. And I fell into that. And coming across your show, it was giving me that opportunity to listen to you guys talk about it, enjoy the camaraderie between you three and the guests that you have. And just like it piqued my interest right away. And it was giving me that ability to learn about new gear and new artists or new guitar shapers and just, oh my gosh, an open faucet of just so much wealth of knowledge and whatnot. So it was a turning point for me.
Wow.
in my gear. So, or in my gear search or in my musical world. So.
Yeah, we're the same way. I mean, we learn more. I mean, I'll speak for all of us, but myself personally, every guest that
From
we
me
have
on the
on,
show? Oh.
I learn not from you, Todd, but I mean, there's things I would have never even considered or heard about and things like that. So it's every time that we have somebody that I'm not familiar with, I always do a little bit of research and find that's kind of cool. So yeah, that's what keeps it exciting for me.
On that note, you just made me think about it. It's like one thing to sort of third person be involved. Something that I've considered. I'm not saying I'm going to do it yet, but something I've considered honestly, because we've gotten a lot of great response from people who have been like, "Oh, it was great hearing from the Poohbahs because they're like, they're like me. They're not building; they're just enjoying playing guitar and stuff." I've considered the idea of doing like a Discord channel, just really to let people talk to each other. I know Facebook and everything's out there, but I know people are kind of over that and not, you're just kind of done with that. But
Meta.
yeah, so
yeah.
just thinking about. I was just thinking about that. I'll just toss that in the universe, see what happens. Or somebody else could start that, and you guys can just do it on yourself. There.
Yeah, little chat page.
Yeah.
I like it.
Anyhow, please continue.
Well, I think a Discord idea would be pretty. I think that's a great idea.
There you go. Be the man. Do you do it?
Discord or Dadcord, it doesn't matter.
I don't have
Any
time.
chord.
I can't do anymore.
Family man, real job, guitar stuff, the anxiety.
I can't fit it all in.
I got to feed my cat for crying out loud.
So when you started listening, what was the thing that maybe you was it guitars or did pedals or amps? Did you gravitate into any particular thing that you started saying like, oh my goodness, I love this stuff?
Well, being a technician, I really gravitated towards the 101s.
Yay.
Yay.
I like those.
And,
We like them too.
well, and that's kind of where I got into a little side gig of working on guitars from my home.
Awesome.
And helping out people around the community here in my church and whatnot, getting a few people and just working on their guitars. So that kind of sparked that interest.
That's awesome.
Nice.
And I haven't put it into a full-fledged business or anything yet, but who knows? It may come.
And if it isn't, that doesn't, a full-fledged business is not the mark necessarily of success. If you're happy in what you're doing,
Gotta keep it
and
fun.
you're connecting and you're having a good time.
Yeah, good
I'd
time.
say that's pretty successful.
Keep it fun.
Oh, for sure. I mean, going back into just the tech side of guitars and whatnot, I gravitated more towards that because it was more since I wasn't able to purchase a lot of gear, why not work on them and get to feel, recognize different kind of guitars and kind of see where I can gravitate towards, which right now it's mostly Tellys and Les Pauls.
And that's probably because those are, between Tellys and Strats and Les Pauls, that's probably 75% of the market.
Yeah. What do you lean to personally? Are you what kind of? Let's talk about your own gear.
Sure. Right now, I've been favoring my Fender Telly more often than not. But I also have a local.
Wait! You can't just say a Fender Telly. That's like 75 years of. See,
Nice tie-in there,
you like
Todd.
that?
Well
75
played.
years. P.S. Go get the book. It's amazing. 75 Fender 75 years by David Hunt. Sure.
Amazon.
What color is it? That's the most important thing, right?
Ooh, it is it's one of the Highway 1 Telecasters. I'm not sure of the color. It's a off-white.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So like a Olympic weight, probably.
Yeah. Can you see the wood grain? Is it like a whitewash?
It is a whitewash. I believe
yeah.
they call it like a honey white or something like
white.
that.
It's like a Mary Kay blonde or something like that.
Yeah,
is
something
just,
like that.
but maybe a little more amber.
Yep.
That's cool. Anything
Yeah.
different about it, or is it totally stock?
Oh, no, it's totally stock.
Cool.
Dig it.
Leo did
Everybody
it right.
needs a Telecaster, doggone it.
Yeah.
Or 3.
or
whatever. Tony's like, yeah. Anyways, okay. So what else you got? What's going on? Tell us more about your gear.
Yeah, so I've got a local boutique builder guitar from Brady Goldman at Goldman Guitars.
Yeah. You know what? Goldman, he shared something out. Sorry, I'm going to break in real quick. He shared something out on Instagram. We know a lot of people out there are struggling with certain things, and he just went out on a limb and shared some personal stuff. He's going through an extremely difficult situation right now, and he's got a GoFundMe. You go over and check out Goldman Guitars. It's all one word on Instagram. He's one of our brothers in the guitar community. If you can help him out, I know he certainly needs it right now. So big shout out to Goldman, and hope he gets better. Check out that GoFundMe. So anyways, it's good to support when we can, as much as we can. It all comes back around. So please continue with your Goldman guitar. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. Any and all help would be much appreciated. He's just a terrific guy and a very talented builder. In fact, when I got the guitar, I did have an issue where I might have put a string lock or a strap lock on it and accidentally cracked the horn.
Oh my.
And he was very quick to help me fix it and get it back. And it doesn't even look like it ever had any kind of crack in there. So, but yeah, super cool dude. Very talented builder, building guitars out of his garage.
Yeah, he's. We were gonna have him on the show. He kind of kept putting things out a little bit. I think he's trying to get a couple more guitars underneath him, and then he clearly started to run into some issues. So
yeah, it's just one thing after another. But no, he's like I said, he's a great guy, great builder. So yeah, I've been really loving that guitar. The neck is a bit chunkier than I'm used to. It kind of reminds me of like a vintage Gibson neck where it's got the half baseball bat. But it sits comfortably. I mean, and it plays beautifully. I mean, it's just, he uses all woods from around the area, local woods. I can't remember which he used for it. I want to say it's got a cherry top. So definitely, cherry top, ebony fretboard. I'm going to say maybe a maple. Maybe a maple neck. I'm not 100%, but yeah, it's great playing guitar.
very cool. Oh, I'm glad that you got it from a local builder. That's really cool. I think it's always just neat. It's one thing to get it from a boutique builder. It's another thing where you're like, wow, this person's in my actual area. It's like even more of a connection. That's really cool. Cool. What kind of amp? And you just mentioned you were getting a new amp. What else are you playing through?
Well, I have a Marshall DSL 401 combo amp and a PV Classic 50 with a 2x12 matching cabinet. They're both the Tweed. And that's it for my amps. I did have a Boss GT 1000, but I got either too lazy or I lost interest in the whole programming side of it. So I went back to more traditional pedals and amp.
Yeah, that works. That works.
Yeah.
And so you're still on pedal questing. You're getting all kinds of new stuff, I imagine.
And you guys aren't helping out with that at all.
So many to choose from, especially now, and I love that we keep getting new builders coming up. It's fantastic, and it's going to help keep our show going. So we need that too. Well, man, this has been awesome. It's been great hearing your backstory, Steve. It's people like you that help all the other builders and guitar builders and amp builders and pedal builders continue to get excited when you make a connection with them, and keeps our community going. So we really do appreciate it, man. Absolutely.
And thank you for having me on here. I've had a great time chatting with you fellas.
Yeah.
And super huge fan of the show.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think you know what's going to happen right about now.
Exactly.
And
We're going to
find out what Tony has to say about life.
Wrong.
What?
Would you
Wrong. I know it's my turn.
Okay, go ahead, Jared.
It's my turn.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's come to the time where I sing a little ditty
That's right.
about this thing called Would You Rather? This Would You Rather is from Jonathan Dudzik. So a millionaire is walking down the street and sees your house. They knock on your door and they tell you they are buying your house. So I guess that's the way it's going to go.
Does that really happen?
In this story, it did.
Wow.
And everything in it with cash.
Cash.
And more than what is worth, and more than what it is worth, so you can find a new house. So basically he's saying, hey, I'm going to give you this giant boatload of cash because I need this area. You're going to go live somewhere else, and I'm making it worth your while. So while looking around, they noticed you're a musician. They give you one option to take either all of your guitars, all your amps, all your pedals. So out of those three, categories, what would you leave behind? All your guitars, all your pedals, or all your amps?
Ooh.
So it's a threefer. All your guitars, all your pedals, or all your amps.
That's right.
No combinations of those.
Nope.
It's wow. This is a mean millionaire.
You can only take one of the three
But you're going to be compensated
with a lot of money.
for the stuff that you can't.
Yeah, and it makes it kind of easy.
Okay.
Well,
You good?
this is really tough.
Yeah.
This is a tough one, Jonathan Dudzik. Why are you doing that to us? Tony Baloney, go for it.
I mean, to me, the obvious thing is keep all the guitars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've got some cool amps and some cool pedals and things, which I guess if I'm being compensated enough, I can maybe even get better versions of those.
Well, you get Dr. Z. Get a new one of those.
I just go drive up to Cleveland with a trailer filled with cash and say, Z, what can you do for me?
I got this big bucket of cash.
Big bucket of cash burning a hole in my trailer.
That's right.
But I mean, to me, I hate to say it because there are some really cool things electronic wise, but it seems like electronic bits and pieces can be relatively easily replaced versus a guitar that you hold and you're playing.
There's a little bit more of a personal connection,
There
potentially.
is.
Potentially.
I think so. So, long story short, I'm keeping all the guitars. Sorry, Mr. Millionaire, you ain't taking the guitars, but leave extra cash for the amps and the pedals
That's right.
and the tuners
And this packs of strings.
and the strings.
All
and the
right,
polish.
Jared.
Definitely the guitars. It's easy. Easy. No, so I've got
Especially with this
I've
thing
got
right
some
here.
vintage pedals that are
do.
really cool. I've got some money wrapped up in that. I've got the Klon. That'd be hard to say goodbye to. But if you gave you millions of dollars, you could just buy all the Klons you want, right?
Yeah.
As far as the amps go, yeah, it's gonna be hard to say goodbye to the fancy stuff that I do have. The Fop Star would be the hardest because there's only one of those.
That's right.
That would be tough. But
You cannot replace that one.
no. But the guitars, there's too many guitars that I would lose my mind if I lost. Especially the ones that are sentimental to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't have a guitar unless it means something to me, by the way. I don't just get it because I think it's cool. It means something.
Yes.
Right.
So definitely guitars.
All right.
It means you're out several $1,000s.
Money is just money, man. Money is just money. I don't care about that.
Steve, how about yourself?
Well, I think it's gonna be unanimous, and I'm gonna go with the guitars as well. What are you gonna play through the amp if you have all amps? I mean, I have a harmonica that might work.
I don't know if it's going to be unanimous, man. We haven't talked to Todd yet.
Let's
And
say.
you know what he likes to talk about.
I'm really
a
struggling
lot.
with this here.
He is.
If you would, if this question would have been posed to me like a couple 2 months ago, I would have said I would keep all the pedals, because there's also I have a lot of pedals that people have made for me, and
They're personal.
They're personal. They mean a lot to me.
I know.
But I mean, I designed the guitar that with Chase, and that's a very personal thing.
Personal guitar.
Yeah.
And I've got
That's a very cool
record
guitar.
made with three of the others. So I have to go with the guitars.
Yeah.
Those
Tony and I
will
got you one
never
of those.
leave my possession ever. Yes. And actually Tony played that the other day and he's like, wow, Chase set this thing up really nice.
he really did take it to the next level. So
Nice.
Yeah.
hats off to Chase.
It is unanimous in that. So, okay.
You're right, buddy. It was unanimous. You get and I'm sorry I interrupted you. Did you have any additional thoughts that you got left out on?
No, you're good.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, thank you, Jonathan Jerusik, for sending that in. I had a great chat with him this weekend. We were just catching up on a few things, and it's great to talk to him. I'm so thankful for the community out there and the supporters, and whether or not you're a supporter or not, regarding Patreon, it doesn't. That's not a requirement. Connecting with everybody out there is it's pretty fantastic. So. Tony,
Yes, Todd.
speaking of thanks,
Speaking of thanks,
yes.
we do like to give thanks at this portion of the show.
is that gratitude?
It is.
that gratitude?
Thanksgiving's over by the time people.
Yes.
But that's okay.
But
We're
for us
recording this
now-
On to
just
Christmas.
this point of the show, Todd. There's a special group of people that we love to thank.
That's right.
These are our executive producers. Now, you might be asking yourself, Todd, what is an executive producer? More importantly, how do I sign up for this gig? Very simple. Go over to patreon.com/the guitar knobs. Check out a couple different levels in which you can participate, become a sponsor, a patron of this very podcast, and keep the podcasts coming.
I know.
Yeah.
Each level comes with a great bevy of thank you gifts, things like barefoot buttons and shirts and stickers and
Keychains.
keychains. Did I say keychains?
Yep.
Picks and all kinds of
Picks,
stuff.
all the good stuff.
Things
Yeah.
and such.
But there's one thing more as an executive producer.
That's right.
Todd, what's that?
Steve, you say it, buddy.
You get your name read on the thing.
Oh.
Your name read on the thing. That's what I'm going to do right now. So thank you to these executive producers. Breath in. Tom Brazen, Darren Gregory, Doug Christ, Ken Sayers, Michael Senchuk, Stefan Lamb, Anthony Lathrop, John England, John Estele, Justin Jones, James White, Matt Hart, Bill Gola Guitars, Richard Kendall, John Jackson, Jason Rausch, Gary Cooper, Mark Garton, Elad Mizrahi, Mike D, Trevor Gunberg, Rick Calhoun, Anthony Gemolero, John Helverson, Drew Lopez, and Vader Pedals.
Nice.
Yes.
But wait, there's more. We have one on the line. These are our Grand Poohbahs. These are the executive producers that have, how shall we say, moved up to the upper penthouse suites.
That's right.
They get to wear a fez upon their head. In fact, they're required to wear a fez upon their head
And they
whilst listening to the podcast.
Yes.
So special thanks to these Grand Poohbahs.
Mm-hmm.
We just mentioned them before. Let's mention them again. Jonathan Jerusik, Corey Nigro, David Kaminga, Science of Sound, Cody Foster, Sean S. Yes. Tom Emanasco, Adam Johnson, Steve Keys.
No.
Steve Keys?
What?
that guy?
That's it. He's that guy.
I thought I heard him on the podcast
He's on
earlier.
the thing now.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Tim Novak, Tyler Rhines, James Pennington, LSJ Music Company, John Williams, Johnny Morales, Mel Sanders, Bob Crouch, Sam Jett, Michio Murakishi, Martin Cliff, Hex Matos, Michael Van Zant, Brian Robinson, John Daly, Ricardo Igareda. Are my eyes deceiving me? We have a new...
Doth mine eyes deceive
A
me?
new Grand Poohbah?
Brand spanking new as of today.
Well, how about that? Brandon Wound pickups.
Hey!
I remember those
Hey.
guys.
Yeah, Zach decided to support.
Big giant shout
Thank
out to
you,
Zach.
Zach. Well done.
Yay!
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot. Well, we just did thank you, but boy, oh boy, we want to thank you a whole bunch of times. We'd give you a big giant group hug if we could. And also, I want to say to builders that we've had on the show, to builders that we haven't had on the show, if you're trying to get your name out in front of everybody and you want to share your swaggy bits with all these new supporters of the show, please get in contact with me and.
Is that what the
stickers.
kids are calling it
Need
these
some
days?
new blood
Swaggy
on the
bits.
show,
Swaggy bits.
man. Swaggy bits.
Yeah, he's a new mumble rapper.
swaggy.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna register that website.
Yeah, anyways,
Anyways,
send us stuff so we can get it out to the good peoples. All right, Steve Keys, we want to say a ginormous thank you to you for
Definitely. Thank
being
you.
a supporter
Thank you.
and being on the show, man.
Oh man, it was a pleasure to be on here.
You bet. What and do you have things out there that you want people to connect to you by?
I have an Instagram page. It's not open to the public, but if you'd like to follow what I do, I usually post about skateboarding and guitar stuff. So,
that's cool.
There you
Or
go.
connect with another human being out there who's into guitars.
or that.
Or
Yeah.
skating.
All right, Tony.
Todd, why don't you just head over to pickguardian.com, check out some of the wares I have for sale. By and large, what I do is custom work. So shoot me an email. Let me know what you want, what you're trying to do. I might have a tip or two for you. You never know. Tip or two.
A tip or 2.
Tip or two.
Indeed. Jared?
I am currently figuring out how to give my
It's easy.
old
You
Instagram
just sign up Instagram and you just do it.
No, give
Oh.
the old one to Zach, and then I need to start up a fresh one. So.
Yeah.
But if you've got a pickup question you want to ask me, I'd love to answer it. Guitar Knob's social media thing.
Send it to us.
That's right.
You can send an email, Todd at theguitarknobs.com. You can also DM me at guitarknobs. And by the way, you can go listen to my band, The Valentinos.
Oh, yeah. Great band.
On Spotify and
on
iTunes.
Spotify.
And,
Do it.
Yeah.
And Amazon and all the things. You can get it. You go get it.
Especially in
you
the
can
morning.
listen to it for free because, we're not going to make a dang penny off of that. So
It gets you going in the morning.
it's good stuff. I promise.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this ride. We got plenty more awesome guests coming up, and 22 is looking pretty good already. So thank you to all of you. Have a fantastic guitar week, and get ready, Steve. Say it with us. Subscribe! Yes. Hello, Steve Keys.
Hey, Todd.
I don't know what that is or who that is.
Housekeeping.
You want me fluff pillow? I need a chiropractor. Oh my gosh, my neck. Doctor said I need a backiotomy.
That tastes really good. That is not mine. This is mine. Remember that song?
No.
Yeah,
Yes, you do.
We try to
Why
forget.
would I remember that song? That sounds like
You
an
all
absolute
remember
horse
it.
crap song.
I-
I've
Why
got
say no when it's so easy to say yes?
Need some help?
Well, give me your login information.
I don't
The
know how
password's
many-
Kenny.
I don't know how many.
Kenny Loggins, Jared.
Dad joke. You owe me a slice for that. What kind of hotel is this?
Oh, it's you, Richard.
Well, by the way, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say, Jared Brandon, please just accept it and don't say anything after that. Just say, just move on.
We get
Kind of going all over the
Clap
place.
for
I
him.
get a break real quick here.
feel like I'm taking a test, and it's just like,
Wait until you hear the
Oh, no,
blooper
you-
reels.
you-
Do
you're
you
all- you're
have
all
your
good,
number
man.
2 pencil handy?
Yeah. Okay, everybody. All right. And away we go.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theguitarknobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.